stadium. Like, that's crazy.
If Tyson dies, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, if you have something like that, if
that'd
this
be the end of the
right,
that'd be that experiment.
Let's imagine it in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout artist who's a contender.
How do you call it a professional fight if the rules you're using are not professional rules? I just
maybe they're in the non-binary category, given that it's 8 2-minute rounds. I'm sure the women will be happy to see someone stepping down to the shorter rounds.
Yeah, I mean,
Boxing pros have broken down the upcoming Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Lennox Lewis expressed his anticipation at witnessing his old adversary's comeback to the ring. Despite the plethora of cautions regarding Tyson's return to the sweet science, Lewis remains intrigued by the prospect. Lewis and a lot of other people, though, believe Tyson will be the one raising his arm at the conclusion of the fight. In an earlier interview with The Guardian, the British national stated that Paul is the sole reason for concern when it comes to risk. Lewis said, "I'm concerned for Jake Paul. Tyson still knows how to punch, as you can see when he's hitting a bag." Lewis mentioned that if Jake Paul gets hit by one of Tyson's punches, he will definitely feel it. He noted that Paul likely doesn't want to get hit, emphasizing that Tyson moves forward and knows how to cut off the ring, questioning the strength of Paul's defense. He added, "I saw Mike a couple of weeks ago, and he looked good. He was walking around without a shirt and showing off his body, so he's getting ready. I'm looking forward to it, because you've got to look at these guys as entertainers. The public love them and want to see them in action." British boxing icon Carl Froch, a former unified super middleweight champion, has thrown his support behind Tyson as well. Froch, renowned for his vocal challenges to Paul, remains skeptical about the ex-YouTuber's prowess inside the ropes. Froch told Lord Ping, "I'm not worried about Mike Tyson. Jake Paul cannot fight. None of his knockouts are legitimate. His knockouts were against opponents who didn't know what they were doing." Froch added, "He's fucking useless. His technique, style, balance, offense, defense, the way he sets up his punches, he cannot fight. Mike is going to be absolutely fine." Adding to the discourse, the esteemed pugilist and 5-division champion, Sugar Ray Leonard, has weighed in on the forthcoming bout. He found himself in the spotlight as a fight hype reporter delved into his insights on the upcoming colossal bout. With the grace of a former undisputed welterweight champion, he succinctly encapsulated his views on the impending clash in mere 2 lines. The reporter prodded Leonard about Tyson's fight, emphasizing the age difference while they were having a conversation on local issues. To this, the 68-year-old boxer first said, "Put it this way, a lot of people are going to watch that fight." Okay, adding, "I'm one of them." In the realm of boxing lore, amidst the chatter and anticipation, a universal truth persists. The masses inevitably gravitate towards the spectacle of live combat, a sentiment echoed by one revered figure among them. Yet, when pressed for wisdom to impart upon the fabled baddest man on the planet, Leonard stood poised with a response primed for the moment. "He doesn't need advice, right?" remarked the renowned fighter. Sugar Ray is not incorrect in this instance. During his 2-decade career, the baddest man on the planet has faced numerous dangerous opponents. Even the youngest heavyweight champion, Roy Jones Jr., acknowledged that he was as aggressive as ever when he made his comeback in 2020. Ever since, Paul hinted at the heightened gravity of the situation, emphasizing how the outcome of their clash would reverberate through their respective legacies. The tension was palpable during their May 16th press conference, a stark departure from the initial calmness, signaling a shift towards animosity. The combat sports community is divided about who will win the Paul vs. Tyson fight. While Paul is far less experienced than Tyson, he is still in his prime age. Tyson is undoubtedly one of the best fighters of all time, but he is decades distant from his peak performance. As the much-anticipated event draws near, TMZ caught up with Paul to get his thoughts. They inquired whether he had any reservations about facing an opponent who was just a few years shy of being considered a senior citizen. Paul said absolutely not, explaining if Tyson gets a shot to knock him out, he'll do the exact same in an embarrassing fashion. He added, "So, I have to reciprocate that same energy. But Mike Tyson is a killer. He's ruthless. He's the most vicious champion ever. So, I have to channel that Mike Tyson energy to finish him, and the legend must fall." Regarding the fight scale, Paul stated that he believes AT&T Stadium would be packed to capacity, and that Netflix might draw hundreds of millions of viewers. The former unchallenged world champion in the cruiserweight and heavyweight classes, Evander Holyfield, recently offered his thoughts on the match. Holyfield opened the discussion by delving into the stylistic dimensions of the potential match, taking into account Tyson's seasoned experience juxtaposed with Paul's youthful vigor. In this hypothetical scenario, Tyson at 58 contrasts with Paul, a burgeoning sensation in both YouTube and boxing circles. Age 27, Holyfield underscored the pivotal role confidence plays in boxing and pondered how the interplay of tactics and mindset could alter the dynamics of the bout.
See what could happen.
Yeah.
Because it's with the confidence the other guy. I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but he gonna be a lot quicker, and if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he try to stay back from Mike, he gonna get caught.
He emphasized the importance of maintaining the right distance while facing Tyson, citing Tyson's impressive speed and knack for exploiting opponents who keep their distance. Holyfield pointed out that if Paul stuck close to Tyson, his odds of victory would rise, since Tyson heavily relies on generating power from his lower body. Nevertheless, lingering too far away would leave Paul vulnerable to Tyson's devastating counterattacks. Holyfield declined to offer a firm forecast, highlighting that the result hinges on Paul's performance. He cast doubt on Paul's capacity to withstand a blow from someone as potent as Tyson, whose strength remains imposing despite his age. Holyfield underscored the unpredictable nature of boxing and the significance of having faith in one's capability to emerge victorious, drawing upon his own journey as a fighter.
Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick. But if you charge him, you're gonna smother everything, because everything he push off his legs. He push off his legs so he too close. Like this, but if you give him room, everybody get knocked out going backwards. Like this, and you give him room, you're gonna be messed up.
Do you see Mike winning, or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight. I tell you what, if it's because somebody gonna tell him it's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy. He gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Holyfield offered a nuanced take on the potential ramifications of Tyson's loss in the realm of boxing. While paying homage to Tyson's iconic status and his substantial influence on the sport, Holyfield stressed that defeat shouldn't eclipse Tyson's remarkable legacy. He emphasized the enduring power and resilience of Tyson's punches, underscoring the critical role of strategy and conditioning in overcoming formidable adversaries.
You don't get in these things if you don't believe you can win. I'm saying that's my whole thing. I ain't never fought when I ain't think I can win. Every time I ever got in the ring, I thought I was gonna win. I'm like, I'm gonna give my all. I'm like, so the whole big thing is that's the whole process of being a true fighter.
Holyfield also addressed the financial imbalances in boxing, citing Paul's achievements as evidence of the significant earnings potential for non-professional boxers in contrast to their professional counterparts. He proposed that Paul's success might prompt a reassessment of compensation models within the sport, advocating for more equitable pay for professional boxers. Reflecting on his voyage through the realm of boxing, Holyfield offered intimate anecdotes and wisdom regarding his approach to the sport. Grounded in his unwavering Christian faith and rigorous training routine, Holyfield underscored the significance of integrity, diligence, and resilience in attaining triumph within the boxing arena.
It's a thing where that both fighters make a lot of money, but I think Jake Paul, they kind of show everybody else in boxing that, hey, if he can make all that much money, why we ain't making all this much money? Because the fact of the matter is because it's different. He in a professional is a whole different line of boxing, and he'll show you that the boxing that they do, they make all the money.
Ultimately, Holyfield's assessment offered an in-depth exploration of the hypothetical Tyson versus Paul showdown, leveraging his extensive expertise and profound grasp of boxing intricacies. His perspectives illuminated the multifaceted nature of the sport and the significant ramifications of top-tier matchups in the boxing realm. Conversely, Deontay Wilder voiced his worry that Mike Tyson would suffer significant injuries from Jake Paul's punches, even raising the possibility that Tyson might go into a coma. Wilder worries that by entering the ring with Paul, Tyson might be jeopardizing his health. He said, "I think it's bad the commission has licensed Mike Tyson because he hasn't been active in 20 years, so they should not just license him because of who he is. That's how people get hurt. God forbid he gets hurt." In a scathing review, Wilder didn't hold back in his assessment of the bout, highlighting the inherent risks and possible consequences involved. He stressed the serious dangers associated with boxing, especially for seasoned fighters like Tyson, who might be past their best. Wilder pointed out the harsh reality that one mistimed punch could result in devastating outcomes, citing previous cases where boxers endured severe injuries or ended up in comatose states due to such blows. Wilder explained, "People can get hit in the wrong place and at the wrong time. There's lots of examples where guys have been hit into a coma. It's easy to do. Mike is too old for this." At the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about Mike. Wilder argues that Tyson's older age makes him particularly vulnerable to these dangers, heightening worries about his safety during the match. He condemns the approval of the fight, seeing it as neglectful of Tyson's welfare. He added, "We can talk about the pros and cons, but at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck. I don't think anyone cares about Mike, because if they did, they wouldn't sanction the fight." Wilder strongly voiced his objection to the matchup, casting doubt on its underlying motives and suggesting that the involved parties might prioritize other interests over Tyson's well-being. He raised concerns about the reliability of any assessments gauging Tyson's preparedness for the bout, stressing the critical importance of not disregarding the potential consequences of a serious injury. He expressed, "They may say they've done tests and all that, okay? But as long as you're willing to suffer the consequences if something bad goes wrong. His power may not have left completely, but you still need to set it up. Your stamina needs to be a certain way, or it's going to look like a clown show." Moreover, Wilder stressed the crucial significance of taking into account Tyson's endurance and overall physical condition. He warned that without proper preparation, the bout might descend into a mere spectacle lacking in substance. On a personal note, Wilder confessed his hesitation to witness the event, motivated by his wish to maintain Tyson's revered legacy as one of boxing's premier champions. Wilder conveyed a melancholic tone as he bemoaned the prospect of Tyson entering the ring with a YouTuber such as Jake Paul. He expressed concern that such an event could damage Tyson's reputation and overshadow his storied career. Emphasizing the importance of the lasting legacy Tyson holds, Wilder warned that a loss to Paul might diminish the significance of Tyson's numerous achievements in the boxing world. He added, "I don't want to see it, to be honest. I don't want to see one of my legends fight a YouTuber. If he goes in there and he knocks Mike out, that's going to tarnish the reputation of Mike. I don't want the last thing I remember of him is him getting knocked out by a YouTuber. The last thing you do, that's what people remember you by." Furthermore, Daniel Cormier, renowned for his reign as a UFC double champion, has weighed in on the highly anticipated boxing showdown, delivering his forecast on the unfolding spectacle. Cormier initiated his analysis by scrutinizing the portrayal of the Tyson-Paul encounter as an authentic competition, expressing skepticism regarding its alignment with the conventions of traditional boxing. He found himself utterly perplexed by the spectacle, observing its divergence from traditional sporting conventions, and proposing that it pushes the boundaries of what constitutes a boxing bout. Despite his initial skepticism, Cormier conceded to the event's allure for entertainment, foreseeing a substantial audience draw, irrespective of its classification.
Fight. Honestly, I don't even know how it's a fight. It's a weird deal. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think if Mike Tyson can fight and just is free to fight the way he wants to, he's either going to knock him out or he's going to get caught with something that's going to get him knocked out. But hell, I'm watching it. It'll be fun as long as it lasts because anytime Iron Mike fights, I'm such a massive fan, it don't matter his age. Granted.
In his prediction for the upcoming fight, Cormier emphasized the likelihood of a knockout, painting a vivid picture of one fighter delivering a game-changing blow, abruptly concluding the match. He pondered the possibility of Tyson controlling the tempo and unleashing his formidable strength, which could result in either a knockout win or vulnerability to a precisely timed counter from Paul. Cormier's assessment underscores the unpredictable nature of combat sports and the thrilling potential for high-octane action in the ring. Acknowledging his initial doubts about the legitimacy of the bout, Cormier couldn't deny the timeless allure of Tyson's fighting skills. He highlighted the buzz surrounding any occasion showcasing the legendary boxer, emphasizing Tyson's formidable reputation as a fighter. Cormier underscored how Tyson's very presence alone guarantees an unparalleled level of anticipation and intrigue among fans.
Father Time is undefeated. There's nothing ever said more true in the world than Father Time is undefeated. And Mike looks great.
Father Time's not undefeated.
Let's see how he operates. What do you mean he's not undefeated?
Acknowledging Tyson's remarkable physical condition, Cormier underscores the hurdles posed by aging, hinting at a potential decline in Tyson's skills over time. This viewpoint resurfaced during Cormier's interview on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, where he raised doubts about Tyson's readiness for the impending bout. Cormier pointed to Tyson's recent struggles, like needing help to leave an arena in 2023, as possible signs of limitations. He voiced skepticism about Tyson's swift return to the ring following such incidents, questioning the wisdom of this decision given Tyson's health concerns.
I love that Mike gonna make his money. I really do love that Mike is gonna make his money. But to me, it's some baby back BS, man. You got Jake Paul, who just fought some dude last weekend, was a minus 2,500 underdog to Jake Paul. It doesn't happen like that. This guy speaks of building himself as a true fighter. Him fighting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson doesn't do that. I don't love that outside of the fact that Mike gets to make some money. Jake seems to be going backwards, and I'm not a Jake Paul hater. I just don't like the matchup, and I also love Mike Tyson.
Former MMA fighter from Britain, Michael Bisping, recently provided an unreserved perspective on the upcoming match, delving into the genuine implications for both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. He suggests that the problem child won't secure a substantial victory from the fight. Bisping proposes that Paul, the internet sensation turned boxer, should contemplate retirement from boxing altogether. Bisping said, if Jake Paul loses, listen, it's Mike Tyson, but still come on. 58 years old, right? Stop it. Never show your face again. If Jake Paul proceeds with the expected actions on July 20th, it presents a chance for him to earn a significant amount of money. Michael Bisping believes that should the 27-year-old manage to defeat Mike Tyson, it would likely become a subject of ridicule within the combat sports community. He said, if Jake Paul knocks out a 58-year-old man, that's called elderly abuse. You know what I mean? You can't win here other than a lot of money. Apart from what he expected to happen in the bout, Bisping concluded after doing his own research that the boxing match wasn't a real fight. The stage is now set for this summer's anticipated showdown, with Michael Bisping offering his perspective on its potential impact on both Paul and Tyson. Despite the prevailing skepticism surrounding Iron's chances, as seen in the public's reactions, a triumph over Mike Tyson would undoubtedly stand as Jake Paul's ultimate feat. Bisping added, it's an official fight. It's a professional fight. If Mike Tyson loses, he will have a loss to Jake Paul, and Jake will have a win over Mike Tyson, which, regardless of how you slice it, is something to brag about, even though he's 58 years old. Despite the hype surrounding Mike Tyson's return to the ring, Michael Bisping is firm in his stance that this unorthodox boxing spectacle shouldn't be cemented in official records. The showdown between the YouTube star and the iconic boxer is accompanied by its own distinct set of rules, prompting figures like Dana White to dismiss it as merely a gimmick match. With modified round lengths and glove dimensions among its many peculiarities, this bout stands out from the typical boxing fare. Bisping mentioned, so you can win by knockout. The rounds are going to be 2 minutes long, the gloves are going to be 14 ounces, and there's only going to be 8 rounds. It doesn't sound like a professional boxing match. Amidst a sea of theories and guesses, renowned coach Teddy Atlas joined the fray earlier this year by hinting that Paul and Tyson could have orchestrated the result of their imminent bout. Despite assurances of strict adherence to professional standards for the fight, rumors about potential manipulation continue to swirl unchecked. During a recent discussion with USA Today Sports, Teddy Atlas, the celebrated boxing analyst known for his pivotal role in training Mike Tyson during his early years under Cus D'Amato, explored the authenticity of the match in question. Atlas said, if there's legitimacy to the effort, if there's legitimacy to the event, if the purpose of it is other than just making money, there's a chance Tyson can catch Paul and hurt him. Furthermore, the former coach of Mike Tyson is still dubious about the impending fight.
It's just been sanctioned as a professional fight. And here's the rules. The result will go on official records. Knockouts are allowed. That makes sense in a professional
That's
fight.
nice of them.
Well, I mean, that usually is the case, right? I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, what were they going to do if you punch someone too hard and knock them out?
It's not allowed.
Hey, that wasn't allowed.
Sam, I'm a little confused. I mean, does that confuse you a little bit too?
Teddy Atlas, formerly a coach for Tyson during a brief tenure under Cus D'Amato, remains skeptical despite the Texas Boxing Commission's endorsement. The substantial age disparity between Tyson and Paul raises concerns for him. Furthermore, the unorthodox regulations being enforced cast doubt on the bout's credibility. From Atlas's perspective, the professional boxing community is questioning these rule changes, as evidenced by the recent YouTube commentary of noted analyst Teddy Atlas, who questioned the legality of the match.
I mean, not just me, right? Or Ken, right? We have company, right?
Disqualified, knocking out the
I just
opponent.
thought it was a good way to break the ice here with the show to start off. And the other rules are 8 2-minute rounds, not 3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds, and 14-ounce gloves, not 10-ounce gloves. Normally pro fights are 10-ounce gloves, and no headgear, which is normal for, a pro fight. Here's my question. How do you call it a professional fight if the rules you're using are not professional rules?
While Teddy Atlas expresses some doubts, it's evident that the upcoming match between Tyson and Paul is destined to make its mark on combat sports history. The clash between these two figures is bound to shape the trajectory of their careers. However, Atlas raises a valid point regarding the professional nature of the fight, questioning its legitimacy due to the unconventional rules being employed. Many share his apprehension, fearing that this event is more about profit than sport, and Tyson's involvement, given his age and lack of recent ring experience, could pose significant risks of injury.
Maybe they're in the non-binary category, given that it's 8 2-minute rounds. I'm sure the women will be happy to see someone stepping down to the shorter rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ken. All I know is I'm really not trying to be, to pick at anything. I'm just putting the news out there, and I'm breaking it down as is our way of doing things on this show. You're calling it a professional fight. We didn't know if it was going to be professional or not. They decided to sanction it as a professional fight in Texas. But it's not the professional rules of a professional fight. It's not 3-minute rounds. It's 2-minute rounds. It's not 10-ounce gloves. It's 14-ounce gloves. Yet it's being called professional rules. Look, they can do whatever they want in boxing, right? I mean, as long as money's there, the commission's going to make money. They're going to bring money into the state. Money's going to come into the coffers for everybody. Boxing is very lenient.
Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.